back to the Realness Radio podcast. We back in this place again. What we talking about, my guy?
So today we're going to be touching on some some booty money
That's
from
right.
Usher.
From Usher?
Yeah, we got a little hypothetical scenario where Elon Musk is unleashing dinosaurs on the Earth,
Nice.
and we're going to revisit some verses, some good
I like
old-fashioned music.
I like that. Y'all stay tuned after the intro music. It's going to be a good one.
I'm for real. I'm for real.
Realer than real.
You're now tuned into the Realness Radio podcast.
I got you stuck off the realness.
Realness.
Y'all feel me?
Y'all feel. Y'all definitely feel.
And we are live.
We are live.
What up, y'all? What's up, dog? How's your week been?
It's been pretty good, man. Just been chilling, getting back in the groove of things.
Me too. 420 was crazy.
Yes, it was.
It was insane. You people need to chill out, okay, with your weeds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got the whole fucking city cloudy.
Yeah, we're not gonna run out, okay? Okay, so you don't have to mug me in the parking lots, okay? I'm not made out of weed. Leave me alone. I'm just one man.
Hope you're enjoying your $70 eights.
You bloody and bruised to me. Nah, just kidding. But for real, 420 was probably crazy. First recreational 420 for Arizona.
Jesus Christ. It's a monumental achievement for the state of Arizona.
That's right.
Yeah.
Smoke weed every day.
Dude, 4th is popping. Like, it was dope because I was driving through 4th. And, like, people are out on the streets. There's people playing bands, like, on the side, like, all kinds of shit. Then I turn left down, go by the dispensary.
Yep.
The line's just popping outside.
It's crazy.
Outside all the way down the end of the building. And, like, it's a real vibe out there, so it's kind of fun.
It's crazy. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for these people. Now, we're going to catch up on a couple things that I found interesting. We're going to start it off with my man's Usher printing out his own monies, right? And then went to the strip club and made it rain with his own Princess Zamunda face.
I seen that dog. I seen that 100. He had a 20 and a 100, right?
Yeah, he went out and printed his own fucking money with his own face on it and made it rain on these strippers with something that is not American currency.
Yeah, just imagine these strippers just like, God damn, I'm making dollar bills, and then you go home to clean off your money, and it's just Usher money. Like,
Usher
what
money.
the
You
fuck?
ain't no bank gonna take that.
Let it burn.
Let it burn,
Let
y'all.
it burn.
The internet is roasting his ass right now. People are getting him, bro. Strippers are mad.
Hella mad. Was this like a promotional thing? Is he trying to get some notoriety? Like,
that's the thing is, I don't think it was promotional. I don't think it was none of that.
Was it a joke?
I think he just went out there to try to be cool and be like, I'm not sure I can put my face on money and throw this money and it'll have some kind of value to these people because I'm Usher. Nah, nigga, they ain't got no value, bro.
Yeah.
They ain't got no money. They ain't putting no niggas on dollars yet.
This ain't a Bitcoin, bro.
Yeah,
You
I can't exchange this shit in. This ain't a fucking movie. I can't believe that he did that. So I thought it was noteworthy to mention it on the podcast because that shit's hilarious.
Yeah, it's fucking
like
too funny.
just why would you even? Why?
I know. I want to know the motivations
So-
myself.
So many whys, bro. So many whys. But I want to jump to something that I think is super interesting, and I'm going to pose a question to you, and I'm going to pose it to our audience. If anybody wants to jump in and comment on this. If Jurassic Park was real, would you go?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
You would go?
Dude, when Jurassic Park came out, I thought that was the shit. I was like, this is going to happen in the future. But, I mean, you got to have a little more than some electrical fences to, do some things.
We've seen how it possibly can come out, right?
Yeah. So what I did like was the comment of maybe one of Elon's people that were saying it's not necessarily going to be dinosaurs, but it could be an exotic species that is like a dinosaur, which that was very intriguing to me because it was like, well, all right, maybe they're going to make some outlandish shit, like some weird shit that we've never even seen before or couldn't even fathom. And that's very. I don't
But
know.
isn't that the theme of the third or fourth, 15th Jurassic Park
Oh yeah,
movie?
I'm sure. Well,
Wasn't that the idea?
even the one in the first one with the lizard that
Yeah, that is.
spits the venom and it has the big like
Yeah, that's
lion's
not.
mane
It's
thing.
not real.
That's not a real dinosaur, but
Nope.
it's based off like a lizard, I think.
It's
Yeah.
based off a frill lizard.
Yeah.
Then
Is that what it's called, the frill lizard?
Yeah, they. I mean, you can like.
I think they're in Australia or something like
You
that.
can like a bunch of breeders have them. You can get them. They do that. They frill their skin up and shit.
Yeah.
They mostly do it when they're running and other shit like that. But it is crazy. It is crazy to like have the idea that like this could be a thing.
That's what's wild about just movies in general, about especially like sci-fi, futuristic things like that. It's like
Right.
we're getting to the point where we're starting to manifest these
Right.
things, like Mars travel, dinosaurs. Like, what the hell is going on?
It's nuts,
we're
right?
creating a world.
So let me clarify to everybody, just so you guys can catch up on what we're talking about. Elon Musk's firm, Natural Inc., has the tech to build a real life Jurassic Park. Now, I don't know if they would, but they're just saying that there is a possibility or a world in which they could do something similar
Right.
to a Jurassic Park, whether it be, as Tony was saying, some kind of crazy magical species of animals that don't exist and then we just bring into the world now, or some kind of code from dinosaurs. I don't know if that would be like, you know what I mean, but like could be.
Well, so I know we've unearthed like woolly mammoths.
Yep.
That were like almost intact.
Yep.
Like where they have hair.
Right.
And they actually have like DNA and stuff like that they can
Right.
get some sort of genetic code off of these things and develop something. So I don't see it as far fetched, but yeah, that's wild.
It's crazy, right? Just the idea that it went from a movie concept to
Mhm.
something that somebody really thought like, hey man, this is feasible.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is something we could realistically do,
Right.
is create a park or some kind of theme park with something from the past or something that echoes to the past.
Do you think they would put it like on an island,
I
like the
mean-
movie, or do you think they would be like in Cali?
It would really depend, right? Depends on what kind of stuff they're dealing with. So if they're
Yeah.
dealing with creatures that are like, you know, non real and not supposed to exist and things like that, then they probably will put it on an island in the middle of like Southeast Asia somewhere. Like that's where Jurassic Park was supposed to be, you know, somewhere in the middle of there where like it's not next to anybody's like specific land or specific anything, and they can kind of do what they want. Because
Yeah.
if it's here in the United States, there's going to be a lot of regulations
Yeah.
and rules and
Yeah.
things that a park that kind of park would necessitate. It wouldn't be able to be done here.
And then you got to start thinking like you don't want Newman, stealing genetics and selling them on the black market, and now we
Right.
got people collecting, make believe dinosaurs and shit. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like,
Well, the question then becomes, so if Elon's company, we're just gonna say for lack of a better word, if Tesla makes fucking Jurassic Park, so what's stopping Jeff Bezos from wanting to do his own competition park?
exactly.
You know what I mean? And try to drive up the competition by making another park that has fucking weird creatures.
Yeah, we're gonna do the Triassic Park.
You know what I mean?
Different,
we're
different
gonna,
levels and shit,
different
you know?
levels. This is the Mesolefic or whatever you
And then
call
we're gonna,
it.
we're gonna have a megalodon
Yeah.
fucking SeaWorld,
I mean, that shit would be insane. I mean, it could go so many different directions, but you would have to have an island. You would have to have that somewhere where it could be contained, right? You couldn't just put that shit in Wyoming and just be in the middle of the United States or something. You know what I mean? Or if it was like, so that's like the thought of Jurassic Park 2, when that fucking Tyrannosaurus is just walking through LA.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's not what you want, is some fucking genetically modified creature is now just in.
Well, because then you'd have to create like a habitat for these things, and
Yep.
what do you know? Like we know that back then the Earth was a lot hotter, right?
Right.
So that was like the catalyst for creating larger creatures because it
Right.
was much hotter, much more humid, so more vegetation,
Right.
bigger things, and stuff like that. So. Yeah, that's very, very crazy. You wouldn't be able to just do it in the Midwest. Well, I mean, I've been to Ohio. It's pretty lush and green out there.
I mean,
But not in like Nebraska or maybe.
I mean, they have beautiful areas,
Yeah.
but the problem would be is it would be too close to anything that you would not want that to be, uh, in the United States proverb, right? You don't want that to be in the middle of where our American citizens
Yeah.
could be hurt.
Yeah.
You'd want that. I mean, and this is fucked up to say out loud, but the way that these people would think is you'd want that to be on an island with the least amount of people as possible.
Yeah.
So that if anything got out and it was going to eat some people, it would be like this fucking village
Yeah, low
versus
hazard. Yeah.
going into, like Omaha,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, and start ravaging people in the middle of the fucking street at the mall.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Didn't COVID do enough?
Enough.
So, I mean, it would have to be done on an island, right? It would have to be done somewhere where they can keep, like, okay, worst case scenario, this shit's gone too far, we're nuking this island. It would have to go somewhere where, like, you know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, where we can destroy whatever comes out of that. But that opens up, the whole thought of that opens up another can of worms of, like,
It does, because you're going to get into like people who are like, all right, we're losing species, we're making species extinct as it is, and now you want to create dinosaurs. It's kind of
Yep.
like going to Mars, and everyone's like,
Yep.
well, what about the oceans? What about the
Yep.
Earth? You know, it's
well, it
gonna
would be that question. What do you feed those fucking things, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have giant creatures, and they're if we go off the movies, which is not real life, dinosaurs. But if we go off that theory,
Mm-hmm.
like, so we're gonna have giant fucking carnivores things. Where we're gonna
Yeah, we're just
they-
gonna throw elephants down,
Yeah.
airdrop elephants down into
Yeah.
the motherfucker.
They're gonna be fucking hungry. So what do you just cows on pigs on pigs?
Yeah, like the first one where the goat just comes out of the ground. It's like,
Yeah, imagine how many of those. Imagine how many of those they'd have to fucking serve that fucker.
Yeah.
All those animals.
Yeah.
There'd have to be an entire industry in Texas where they just raise cattle to be sold to Jurassic Park as feed cattle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's just so many
Whole
logistics.
new industry.
Yeah, and it's so many logistics. You know what I mean? To like.
We need dinosaur trainers and shit.
Well, it's like you're creating these creatures, and then it's like they're recreated, but they're not exactly how they were, so they're adapted to our life. What is the adaptations that they make?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, do we just create some fucking thing that's like way smarter than it was supposed to be,
Mm-hmm.
and it really ends up like the Jurassic World movie where they're thinking a little bit. They've created something that's just a little too smart and a
Yeah.
little too ahead of its. You know what I mean?
I want to know if we do have anybody listening who is, in school or has gone to school for genetics, any type of that shit. Let us know something. Like, how feasible is this? Like, is this something that could possibly go down?
And that would be really interesting. Please let us know, because I'm curious as well. And I want to know. Now, we know that dinosaurs wouldn't be scaly, and they wouldn't be like we see. They're distant relatives of birds.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And they've shown that they would have had more of like feathers and things on their body.
There's definitely fossils of reptilian-like creatures with feathers. So it's almost
Yeah.
like this transitional creature
Right.
of it turning from reptilian to bird-like. Yeah.
And so it would be interesting to see exactly, because we've never seen a movie to accurately represent what those creatures would look like, right?
Mhm.
Because it's all that we have is all fantasy.
Yeah.
So the Tyrannosaurus Rex
We have
and
the
all
bone
these,
structures.
yeah, all these things, they're all like fantasy of the bone structures that we see, but not representative of what it would be on the outside of the epidermis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we could even go as far as like knowing what the muscle structure of the animal would be like because of the massive size of the bone. So it would need this muscle structure to support this amount of weight
Right.
and things like that. But yeah, the
Right.
outside that's always been my question too, is like, what did they actually look like? The
Right.
colors, the textures of
How
them.
do they
Yeah.
display?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? How do they display versus we know what the skeletons look like. We have an idea of that portion, but how
Right.
do they actually appear if you're fucking running down the woods.
Mm-hmm.
What should I be looking out for? Okay, because
Right.
this skeleton's not exactly accurate.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Y'all get in the comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know if you have a little insight on this science stuff. Maybe you're at home making your own dinosaur right now. We don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you got your own self-made dinosaur kit and you're just on it right now. So, let us know how this works out. And we're going to take a quick break, pay some bills, and we'll be right back. What up, y'all? Let me tell you about another product I really like. This new thing I just found called Tappy. If you're an artist, if you're a business person, if you're anybody with anything that you want to share with people, maybe you're a designer, get this. It's a new business card. It's electronic, no paper, no thousands of cards in your pocket, just one. Anytime anybody asks, hey, what do you do, man? Pull it out, tap it on their phone. All the information's right there. Tappy. Go to our website at therealnessradiopodcast.com. Go all the way to the bottom and look at Tappy. Press get one, and you can order yours right now. Trust me, it's something you're interested in. Tappy. And bills are paid. We're back.
Boom.
What up, y'all? So, going on to the next interesting thing that I have stumbled on. Actually, I want to go back. I want to go back for a second. What did you think, since we didn't get a chance to really talk about this? What did you think of Versus?
Versus.
What did you think
So,
of Versus?
unfortunately, I had to work that night.
Yeah.
From
From what you saw then.
But from what I did see, and a lot of it was actually through your posts, through the videos and shit that I was looking at. I was very sad that I didn't get to witness it, but they look like some old school players from the Himalayas getting ready to lay it down, and they were laying it down. I listened to the Versus episode with your friend. What's her name again?
Lisa.
Lisa, yeah. She was a great addition to the Versus episode. She knew her music, so I enjoyed that. You guys did a great job. But watching that, I was kind of taken back. It was very monumental, I think, in the music world. It was dope.
It was one incredible night of music, to say the least. I mean, to say the least, it was a extraordinary night of music. It was jamming to the start, to the finish, from the rooted to the tooted, they would say. I mean, I had such a good time. I
Hell yeah,
partied
good.
that night. I'm in here. It's going down. I'm singing loud. I hope everybody enjoyed it just as much as I did. It was one of those things where, who knows if we're going to get this again, with these type of artists, these people, you know what I mean? Everyone's getting older. Me and Lisa kind of discussed that. I mean, I'm just so happy that we got a chance to have that and witness it. And
Exactly.
it was crazy. It was crazy. And something that I noticed through an article I was reading, I think Earth, Wind, and Fire saw like 120-something% uptick in their music downloads
Good.
and streams after
Yeah.
that. The Isley Brothers saw a 400%
Wow.
uptick
Wow.
in their streams and downloads. So it's incredible. It gives them That's what I've always said about the Verses. It revitalizes people's career who have been out of the limelight for a while. So they're not an artist that doesn't deserve the kudos. They just been out of the limelight because there's new artists and there's new industry going on.
Yeah.
And they're back. So we get to relive those great moments with these Verses, and that's why I think they're so important and so incredible. So it was just one hell of a night. I had moments where Steve Harvey was bugging me just like everybody else did on the internet, but I loved it. If he had to do it again, I'd be all about it again.
Did he have the suits though?
Oh boy, had the suits.
Yeah.
So some people didn't really like the purple suit. I like the purple suit. I like the
Okay.
purple suit. I thought it looked good.
It's
Boy was
different.
fly.
Yeah.
Boy was fly. Yeah, he looked like an Easter M&M. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he looked like a giant crayon, but it was sharp. And it was just, I mean, that's what you had to do. It's Sunday. It's like Sunday in the South, baby. It was good.
Oh yeah.
It was a real good show. So
Well,
I'm
I-
happy you got to at least see a little bit of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I love, just to touch on what you just said a little bit ago, I love that Versus is doing versus like this
Right.
with older artists
Right.
because it does seem that way, and I've kind of noticed this a little bit as I'm getting older, that my music tastes, which are more geared towards the 90s, early 2000s and stuff, and then we get these new wave of music that
Right.
it's starting to change, and that stuff is it's almost like there's a battle to become relevant, and it's like these new cats are trying to push out the older versions and say like I'm
Right.
here now and this and that, and that's got to be even more so for like the older generations, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
especially
Like,
at that age.
it's almost like they're it's a great thing that you can bring that back, and the fact that their upticks are going up 400%, 120%. You're seeing, that the older generations are watching it, they're enjoying it, they're getting taken back, they're having a good time. So it's
Right.
including everybody in the conversation, and it's going to include the new school, it's going to include the old school, and
That's
it's going
right.
to include the old school. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and that was the moment that I really loved, and I talked about this on the last podcast, but it's like, younger people got to really experience that, and so did our generation, which is kind of that, let's call it middle gap generation.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, my mom was at home, and she got to enjoy that.
Love it.
See, you're talking about generations of music lovers getting to watch some old school. So something that is my mom's generation, but I got to enjoy
What you
just
think?
the same. She loved it. She
Yeah?
thought it was good. She didn't expect it to be so long.
Oh, okay.
But
Was
she
like
thought
3
it was
hours,
really
2
good.
hours?
4 hours.
Oh,
It
wow.
was
That
4
was a
hours.
dope one.
They did 2 hours, did a break, 2 hours. So it was a long one.
Oh, yeah.
It was a long one, but she really enjoyed it. It was nice to see it. She thought that Steve should have asked some better questions because she knows the history because it's her generation. She lived through it.
Yeah.
And Earth, Wind, and Fire is one of her favorite groups, so she knows everybody's names, and she wanted him to ask some more questions poignantly about Maurice White, who was the singer who sung most of the songs in Earth, Wind, and Fire that you hear. And for me, I was thinking about Ernie, who is the guitarist who wrote more of the songs than I even knew.
Who was the long-haired brother?
So that's Verdine.
That's Verdine?
So Maurice White,
Mm-hmm.
that's his brother. So
Okay.
Maurice started the group, and he
Yeah.
was the lead singer. Verdine he plays bass.
Mhm.
He's the bass player. And Verdine's my favorite because that dude is like old, and he always has the energy, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like he's always popping up and down. He's always dancing. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
Even though Philip Bailey is my other favorite. He's the one with the longer hair, and he sung all the falsetto leads.
Okay.
And now he sings most of the stuff because Maurice is gone.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it was crazy.
Do you remember on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the name of Uncle Phil's law firm?
Fourth Wind and Meyer?
Yeah, Firth, Wind and Meyer.
Yeah. a play on Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah, a little play on Earth, Wind and Fire.
I always loved that. So it was just such a good one. I was so happy to have got to see that Versus. And for y'all that are not watching the Versus, you should definitely stay tuned.
Get on it.
And get on it. But man, I mean, we're running here at the end of the clock, so we can save some stuff for the next episode.
Yeah, sure, why not?
We got a whole lot of stuff going on. We appreciate y'all tuning in
Every day.
this episode all the time. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share it to your friends, tell everybody about it, join the conversation. And if you like what we got going on, you can personally reach me at King Shrek, also known as Superior Shrek on Instagram.
And I am Prolific Pappy on Instagram.
Yeah, so holla at us, and thanks for listening, and we'll get back to you on another one.
See ya.